I just vacuumed my bed, and there's cat hair all over it again. Oh, the sweet tea on a summer night.
That's what people in the South sing.
Do they? You know do you like the sweet tea from McDonald's?
Yes. I have to be in like a big mood for it because it is very sweet.
Okay.
It is like I have to be like dying of thirst and being like, I really want a sweet tea from McDonald's, but then I drink it and I get through like half of it and I'm like, oh my God, this is so much. Because also I've made that sweet tea and I know how much sugar goes into it. Do you want to know how much sugar?
Yeah, I do actually.
You know how like you buy like a pound of sugar, like the bags?
Yeah.
That whole bag.
But how much does that make?
Probably
You're like 1 cup.
like I don't know, like 2 pitchers full. I'm trying to remember, but I used to make the sweet tea a lot. Yeah, maybe like 2 pitchers full.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So maybe like 2 gallons.
What I was going to say about it was that
Maybe 3.
I dated a guy and one time he's like, "Do you want anything from McDonald's?" And I was like, "No." Like it was like our first date, right? And he like I guess it wasn't even a date. We're just driving around and hanging out. And he like pulled up to McDonald's and ordered a sweet tea. And like he got the sweet tea and like pulled up a little bit more and dumped half of it out and then poured a bunch of water in it. And I was like,
Oh, a lot of people would order sweet tea and think it was obviously too sweet, and they would get half unsweet and half sweet.
"Oh, that's smart."
But never pour water in it because what the hell? You're just watering down your tea. Just get half and half. You just say, "Can I have a sweet tea, half and half, please?"
Well, if I ever see him again, I will suggest that to him, but I have yet to see him in my entire life.
Do you like sweet tea? Or do you drink unsweet?
I like unsweetened more than sweet.
I can drink unsweetened if it's cold. I prefer sweet tea.
Well, if that's what you grew up on too.
Yeah.
I have a question for you this week. Oh,
Shoot.
wait, I have a correction corner. Remember?
Oh, yes, you do.
What is it? I don't remember what it was. It was super important too, huh?
It was. Did you text it to me?
Nope. We were on the phone. Oh, well.
Okay, well, Amy clearly said something wrong or did something wrong, and she is admitting it, and it has been corrected in your brains once you find out in a documentary.
And mind you, Bree and I, we did talk about it, and I said we needed to do a correction corner. So,
yep. So whatever mistakes she made, just know she knows about it, and she's correcting it. So every single mistake that she could have possibly made.
It's all forgiven.
Yep. All good now.
Yep. I've been pardoned from my mistakes.
Perfect.
Okay, so my question to you is, I feel like I've asked you this question 3 different ways now in the last 3 episodes.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Who's going to jail now?
Okay. If someone told you that their dream was to be a serial killer, how would you react?
Oh my God.
Like their dream was to be.
Oh my God. I would be like, go to therapy. We're no longer friends.
I don't think I could be friends with you. I'm so sorry about it.
No, I'd go tell someone.
And also, you've been reported to the local police
Exactly. I'd be
department.
like, hey, I don't know if this is breaking a law, but you should probably have this dude on your radar.
Also, like, it's okay. So you tell the police that, and they're like, okay, so what did they say? Because they have to take it seriously, right? Like, what did they say? Well, like, I don't know. He just said, like, he just really wanted to be a serial killer when he grew up or whatever it is. And they're like, who is this person? And like, they're just going off of what you say. And so like, But then do the police do anything or do they just watch them? Because that's like a lot of work.
I don't know what a police officer would do if that were to happen.
Yeah, I agree. They'd be like, "Hmm." And then what if nothing happens, and so then, like, do you get in trouble for making a false report?
No.
Questions. Questions. Well, you can get I mean, it's a misdemeanor to call, like, and make a false report too.
Then maybe you call and be like, "Hey,
I don't know what to do in
say,
this
do you
situation.
wanna make a report? Is this something worth making a report for?" And da 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 da. And then
Mm.
they're like, "Yes or no." And then,
Like, they can
"Okay,
see
cool."
it as more it's like it's genuine and not be like, "This
Right.
guy's a serial killer."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. I agree. I'm going first this week. You went first last
Yes.
week. Okay.
Let me get my story. Okay. This is from Reddit and it says, "What does your crazy neighbor do to be labeled the crazy neighbor?" And
Oh.
the comments say, "She dug up my fancy flowers and replanted them in her own yard 15 feet away." Another comment said, "I felt this. My crazy neighbor took my new blueberry and raspberry bushes and stuck them in her yard. She replaced them with sticks that she found." Yeah.
I would be so mad because, like, it's like, those are my plants, but then they're like, how are you supposed to prove it? You know?
And they're expensive.
They're
Like,
so
berry
expensive.
bushes are a lot.
Yeah.
I'd be
M I'd be
pissed.
so upset. Yeah. Wowza. Okay, so
What you
I'm gonna tell you about Stephen Sean Griffiths. He was born on Christmas Eve. And for those who do not know what Christmas Eve is, it's December 24th, 1969, in Dewsbury, West Riding of the Yorkshire, England. So, his dad was either a fisherman or a frozen foods man. We don't know. Either way, he worked a lot. His mother was Maura Hirst. She was a phone switch operator. You know, those ones that like boop, 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 boop.
My grandma did that.
Oh, did she? That's so
Yeah.
cute. Stephen was the oldest of 3 children. His younger siblings were born in like 1972 and 1976. It was reported that his family wasn't really close. They kind of just like all lived in the same house, but they weren't like, they didn't have like close relationships with each other. Like,
Okay.
I'm sure the mom like took care of the kids, but she didn't like, she mothered them, but not like mothered their relationship.
Right.
Okay. When Stephen was 13, his parents divorced and all of the children went to go live with their mom. And their mom like was playing this system, right? She was like lying to receive benefits and she ended up getting caught and was
Oh.
arrested and spent some time in the clinker. Is it the clinker?
Yeah.
The clinker for this. So obviously the family had their financial troubles, but after the divorce, Stephen's dad ended up saving like every penny he could, and he actually was able to send Stephen to Queen Elizabeth's Grammar School, which is a private boarding school. It was said at this time at this boarding school, Stephen's behavior pattern started to change. There was a friend of Stephen's named Martin, and he said Stephen would carry a briefcase with a knife in it, which
Oh,
is
okay.
super
That's
strange.
super normal.
Yeah, and he was interested in martial arts and weapons. Another classmate said that Stephen was a bit of a nutter, quote unquote, and Stephen liked to skin birds and do other cruel things to
No.
animals. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he did. He really, really did. In 1986, at 17, Stephen left the boarding school and went back home to live with his mom. The Daily Mail reported his mom would have men over all the time and would take them to their back garden and
Oh,
have
okay.
sexual relations with these men. Like, full on view for the neighbors to see,
Like
which is
behind the azaleas?
But she was doing it where the neighbors could see her, Brie.
Oh my gosh, not even behind the azaleas.
Very odd behavior.
Yeah.
The revolving door of men really upset Stephen. He started to resent her because she was like choosing men over the family. Stephen was also treated by multiple psychiatrists and treated at 3 different hospitals.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
like, they would give him his medication and send him on his merry way each time. But they put a cute little note like in his file. They're like, this man is dangerous.
How
And
old was he?
he was 17 at this time.
Okay.
Like around that age. And it was like, you say he's dangerous. You put a cute little note like, do not go near. Do not have weapons, but let's not do anything about it.
Yeah.
In June of 1987, at 18, Stephen was caught shoplifting. And when he was confronted, Stephen took out his little cute knife that, he used to carry around in a briefcase, and he slashed the manager's face with it. He was arrested and was sentenced to 3 years in jail. While in jail, he told the probation officers and psychiatrists that were treating him in jail that he fantasized about being a serial killer.
Red flag. Actually, there's been so many already.
So toot of him. Like, widowy. So toot.
Yeah, precious.
The following year, he was released. His probation officer was like, we heard you have a dream. You have, sorry, blah, blah, blah. His probation officer was like, we heard you have a dream for your future. Hope your dreams come true. Bye-bye now. Here's a sticker for attending jail. Yeah, they didn't do anything about it. At this point, Stephen had cut ties from his entire family. So through government
I don't blame him
grants,
on that one.
through government grants and programs, he was able to get a flat in Manningham. While living there, he attended Bradford College and enrolled in their psychology program in 1988. Super cool that he was going to taking psychology classes when he fantasized of being a serial killer.
I think he needs to do some psychology on himself.
So in September of 1989, Stephen gets into trouble. He was using an illegal air pistol to shoot birds, and after he shot them, he would dissect them.
Ew.
He was sentenced to 100 hours of community service, and they sent him to a hospital where he was diagnosed as schizophrenic and psychopathy. Psychopathy. So
that sounds dangerous.
it sounds like he should have another note in his file that says this man should not be released to the public.
If it is a word that cannot be pronounced by the average Joe, then it is not a good thing.
Oh,
it is dangerous.
No. Very dangerous. The medical report said basically this man will murder somebody and maybe even multiple people.
Do you think they all had like bets going on in the background?
Oh my gosh, probably. They're like, you want to see like,
oh, he attended this jail this year, so I'm sure they know about his history. Let's get them in on the bet. Yeah, another $100 in. Cool.
Another 100.
They're up to like $3,000.
So like they have like how many people will he kill? Like different multiple bets.
Yeah.
Like how many, how long
when it'll happen,
when it will happen,
how it's gonna happen, what weapon. It's like Clue.
Yes. Oh. So the following year, Stephen was caught holding a knife to a girl's throat and was sent to prison for 2 years. He gets released from prison in 1993 and still has a dream to be a serial killer. So he buys books about serial killers and murderers.
Okay.
He was like, he wanted to like study them. He was super into Jack the Ripper and the acid bath murderer, and his personal favorite was the Yorkshire Ripper. He really liked him because he killed a lot of women, and he was like also local to Stephen. Like, obviously not at the same time, but like it was in the same areas where Stephen lived.
Right. Yeah.
In 1990, so he could relate to him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, didn't he was he the one who killed a lot of, women sex workers?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I was trying to think of the proper term for it.
Yes. So, in 1996, Stephen was 27 at the time. He moved into a one-bedroom flat in Homefield Court. It was a housing complex in Bradford, United Kingdom. His flat was right on the corner of the red light district. So there was like sex workers that would walk along the corner where his flat was every day. So he's like, "Hey guys, see you," clocking you.
Oh.
Um, in September 1997, Stephen was like doing really, really, really good in college. He ended up pursuing a bachelor's degree in psychology at the university. While he was there, he met a woman named Zeta. He would always go over to her place and she never came to his. According to Zeta, Stephen would experience sexual difficulties. He also would get super angry if she ever touched his hair, which is so weird.
Okay.
And he like kind of had long hair. And he was scared spiders or insects would get into his ears at night, so he would like plug his ears with cotton wool before bed, which I
Fair.
that's an understandable fear.
Yeah. I
Uh
mean,
the
I'm not that afraid of it because I don't know that it's going on, but,
yeah.
I guess.
Now that I know that that's like a possibility, maybe.
You didn't know that that was a possibility?
I mean, I did. I always like I
S
don't know what I'm
It
saying.
most likely happens all the time.
Well,
Spiders and
I
shit crawl all over you inside or
stop it. No, it doesn't. You stop
have
it
you
right now.
never woken up and felt
Shush,
like a tickle
shush,
on your
shush, shush,
face?
shush. No, no way. Shut up. That does not happen.
I legit
No,
have swears
I
like
don't want
last
to hear
month.
it. I'm taking my headphones off.
It was probably
My
a
headphones
spider.
are off. I can't hear you. I am not hearing this. I wear earplugs at night so it doesn't happen to me.
Oh, okay.
So the two of them were dating for 2 years, and she had never been to his place this whole time. Eventually
That's a
she was
really
like,
long time.
yeah, eventually she was like, this is kind of weird. Like, I know that we are always at my place. Like, I really would like to see your place. And he is like, ugh, fine. So he finally takes her to his place. And I'm guessing she wished she never did. Because when she walked in, she looked to the right,
Oh god.
and right next to the front door, there's this bookshelf, and it is full of books about serial killers. And
Oh
then
god.
there's also like a horrific, nasty video, like DVD or not DVDs, VHSs. And I'm not sure what that is. I'm guessing probably like porn. But she said it was horrific and nasty videos.
Okay.
Um, she said that on every single surface, Brie, like the floor, like coffee table, the couch, um, the TV stand, all of it was covered in plastic.
That's like a I feel like that is like that would be like a pretty like a serial killer type trait. 'Cause,
Very.
like, I mean, it's kinda like OCD, you don't wanna get anything dirty,
He was
and
a
that's
neat freak.
exactly, that's a very common, like, psychopath type of trait,
Behavior,
isn't it?
yeah. I mean, yeah, normally they have some sort of like, I need things to be clean. I mean, not all of
Right.
them, but him in particular, he definitely liked things very, very, very clean. So she said when she went in, she felt uneasy and unsafe. So she asked to go home. And he did. He took her home, and then she broke up with him. After this, he had various girlfriends, and none of them lasted very long. He was very controlling of them. He would stalk them, he would beat them. and he would like make them like manipulate them to like have them cut ties from their family and friends, and sometimes he would even spike their drinks. So that's cool.
That's normal.
And when they would break up with him, he would like when they would break up with him, that he would like continue to harass them, and he would like call them and leave them creepy voicemails. And sometimes one time he even spray painted one of the girls' garages and called her like a whore and stuff on the garage. And then all of a
What?
sudden he was like, "Ugh, that's like harassing my girlfriends is so boring. I'm going to move on from something else." So he got into reptiles.
Oh, that's
Odd.
healthy. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna get a lizard now. I'm tired of harassing
he
these
l
women.
yes, he got a lizard.
Oh,
He would carry the reptiles in his backpack, and he said he did that to, like, start conversations with people, which is very odd. He's
was it
like,
peacocking?
"Hi, do you wanna see my lizard?"
Do you wanna pet my lizard?
"No, thank you." "No, no, actually, thank you." His neighbors thought Steven was just, like, this weird guy. They gave him the nickname Lizard Man, and I guess he would take them, like the lizard or lizards, I don't know how many, on walks on a leash. During his walks, his hair was always like slicked back, and he wore black glasses with a long trench coat, no matter the weather. So
Oh, alright.
I went
I've
to
seen a
school
few
with
of those before,
I went to school with a couple people like
and
that.
I felt that they were unapproachable. That's all I'm
Yes.
gonna say about that.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, the
S-
walking lizards and treating them like dogs is, like, totally normal, but the trench coat, yeah, you're nope. Mm-mm.
nah. So, Stephen also had a MySpace account. He went by the name Vin Pariah, which Vin, I'm probably assuming it's because of the last of his name, Stephen. And Pariah means outcast. He also had a collection of violent pornography, which we kind of assumed by what his girlfriend
Right,
saw.
right.
But but despite being a little weirdo, he managed to graduate with a bachelor's in psychology from the university in 2003.
Alright.
And then in 2009, he was admitted to the Bradford University to write a PhD. Oh my God, Brie, in homicide studies.
No. I mean, he's perfect for that,
I
though,
mean, he
also,
really
like, he's
is.
qualified because, like, he knows serial killers,
He
clearly.
knows, yes. Uh, so he was doing that. He was researching murders in Bradford in the 19th century for his thesis at the time of those crimes. And again, he was really smart and a top of his class. So then on June 22nd, 2009, 43-year-old Susan Rushworth disappeared. Oh my God, I don't know who might have done it. Susan married in her early 20s and had two children with that man. She ended up getting a divorce and she married a second man and then had another child with him, but she divorced that guy too. And then she met another guy shortly after her second divorce and he introduced her to heroin, which was not great.
Oh, what a
Susan's
nice
mother,
man.
yeah, Susan's mother was super concerned for her daughter, and she tried like got her back into rehab, which helped for a few months, but she ended up finding a way back to the drugs. So she was on that, cycle of addiction. At one point, Susan became a sex worker to fund her addiction. The day of her disappearance, she was on her way to the pharmacy in the Manahan whatever area. She was seen getting off the bus around 12 p.m. When she was reported missing, police, interviewed witnesses, but really didn't put a whole lot of effort into behind her disappearance because one, she's a sex worker, and that's kind of the normal protocol to just be
Right.
like, I don't know. So 10 months
That's
later,
kinda
and
messed up,
I mean, it is. I mean,
but
she was still,
you don't know where they could be, like, I see what you're saying, like,
yeah,
it happens all the time, like, they turn up all the time.
right. Like, oh, that
Okay.
she probably
Not
overdosed
as in,
somewhere.
like, "Oh, she's just a useless human being." It's just, like,
Right.
more like Oh, she'll turn up in a couple days.
Right, right. So 10 months later, another woman went missing in the area, Sherry Armitage. She grew up as a bubbly girl and she was in a good family. She actually grew up pretty rich, but unfortunately, at the age of 16, she started using heroin, and at the age of 31, she disappeared. She was last seen on April 26, 2010, around lunchtime. She bumped into her parents while they were out shopping, and this was the last time they would actually see her. By 7 p.m., Susan left her flat with a friend. They had dinner before they went to the Sunbridge Road to quote, go on the beat. And that means to go, like, it's slang for like go sex work. She was last seen on CCTV footage at 10 p.m. and police tried looking for her, but they did their work again, but they didn't really put a whole lot of work behind it because, she's went on the beat.
Do you
Time
think it was beat because it's beat the meat?
Ew, Brie, why would you talk like that? That's disgusting. Um, so time goes by and another woman goes missing, Susan Blaymeyers. She grew up in a good home and was on the path to go to nursing school, but unfortunately, by the age of 25, she was using heroin and became a sex worker to fund her addiction. She was last seen on May 21st, 2010, by her mother, who dropped her off at her flat. So police only had one lead. That would break the case wide open.
Wonder who?
There was a man just minding his own business, Brie, walking his little dog in Shipley by the water, and he saw a rucksack in the water floating. So he goes down to the water and pulls this rucksack out, and he was like, "Man, this is heavy." And he looks inside, and at first he thought he saw a football, which is very interesting, but when he got a good look at it, he was like a double take. It was actually a head.
Oh.
So obviously the police were called. Just 2 days before this happened, a caretaker who was managing the property where Stephen lived was looking through footage of the security cameras of the property, like probably just doing his due diligence. And he saw at 2:30 a.m. it showed Stephen heading into his flat with Susan. Remember Susan?
Oh.
And they were like chatting and laughing like they knew each other. But then minutes later, you see Susan come running out with a look of fear on her face. And then you see Stephen coming out of the flat, chasing after her with a crossbow, trying to shoot her.
Oh my God.
And then they went off the camera and he attacks her. And then he comes back into the camera view and he looks directly at the camera and flips it off, which I think is hilarious. And then like shows the camera his crossbow. He's like, "Look at my crossbow." And then you see him dragging Susan back into his apartment with an arrow in her head. Yep.
Whoa.
Then he is seen leaving his apartment again. Then at 3:35 a.m., Stephen is seen on CCTV outside of the place with another woman. They were like chatting and laughing, but instead she maybe like felt like something was off, but because you like see her leave. So good on her. After this, you see Stephen on CCTV leaving his place again. He was caught on 4:28 a.m. on CCTV with no one else with him. So he like ended up going back home. On May 24th, 2010, 22 police officers stormed his place to arrest him. So they question him and he tells them everything. He's like, "I'm an open book. Ask me anything." He said after killing the woman, he would eat some parts of them.
Ew. Yucky.
That's not nice. Police confirmed this by finding DNA of all the women on his stove. He cooked them. Ew, would you rather eat cooked flesh or raw flesh?
Ew, 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 ew,
Don't answer that question.
Ew.
He told them that after killing them, he would put them in different duffel bags and plastic bags, and he would take them to the nearby lake to dump them. Now, police were able to get a pretty good picture of exactly what happened to Shelley because Stephen recorded part of the killing on his freaking phone.
Okay. Wow, you have your bachelor's in whatever and psychology, and yet you were this careless.
Yes. It's like he was asking to be caught. It's
Yeah.
almost like he told people for years, I want to be a serial killer.
And then once he's achieved all of his other goals, he's like, "All right, now it's time to check serial killer off the
Now,
list."
yeah, he's like, now that I'm bored, I'll finally achieve my dream, my
Yeah.
bucket list, if you will. Um, so he recorded it on his phone. And little side note, at some point, someone found this phone on a train, which I don't know how. Okay. I don't know when they did, but they found this phone on a train. And they were like looking through the photos and found a footage of Shelley's murder. Some say it was a dumb accident. Others say it was intentional and he wanted someone to find this phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. On the video, it shows him dragging Shelley back into his flat and he tied her up in the bath and spray painted on her back. He took spray paint and
What?
spray painted on her back the words, my sex slave.
Oh.
And
Oh.
while he is filming this on his phone, Brie, you hear him say, I am a Ven pariah. I am the bloodbath artist.
What? Oh,
Here's
wow. You trying to
here's
give yourself your own name now? Wow.
Murder 101. Do not give yourself your own name.
Right?
So uh he he also then says, here's a model who is assisting me. He then dismembers her in the bathtub using knives and power tools. Yeah. Once he is done, he takes parts of her body and puts it in a rucksack. He was seen on CCTV footage getting on a train with the sack, and then he is seen on another one getting off the train. He then dumps the bag and goes home. He tried to disinfect all the surfaces and gets rid of all the evidence. He tried to, mind you. And after killing his final victim, Susan, he posted on MySpace, as you do, casually. Then Pariah has finally emerged into the world. What will this pseudo human do? One wonders. Poor Stephen pretends to be me, but he was only the wrapping. He knew towards the end that I supplied the inner core of the iron hatred bound tightly in flesh at very long last. The time has come to act out.
Oh my god, so deep and dark. Wow.
Very dark. So,
Who are his
Stephen,
top friends?
Tom. So, Stephen told police that he would approach these women and pretend to be a photographer, and he would say he would take them back to wanted to take their photos back at his place. And he said that he would offer them drugs or money in exchange for photographs. He would tell them to lay on the bed and have their back like in the air. So I'm guessing like on their stomach. And these photographs were going to be in his art exhibit. He did, in fact, photograph them, but it was after they were dead. During
Oh.
questioning, he would brag that he killed many, many more women, but he wouldn't tell them who, where, or when. They found 2 crossbows in his flat and photographs of the victims, all of them all over the house, like in the bathroom, in the kitchen, like just like sitting there next to the TV, just like photographs of dead
Oh
women.
my god.
The carpet was all ripped up. Some tiles were removed as if he was like trying to hide the evidence, which why'd you film it then? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So while he was in custody, a person out by the banks of the river Air, which is 5 minutes north of his flat, someone discovered a head and a torso in a bag. And nearby, there seemed to be like a killer kit bag, like down the ways, like a geocache or something. It had hacksaws, knives, and it was assumed he used that kit to dismember the body. Later was confirmed it was confirmed that the body belonged to Susan and Shelley. So now we have those two women also.
Oh, wow.
Stephen confessed to killing all three women, and police asked him why he did it. And he said, sometimes you kill someone to kill yourself or part of yourself. He's so emo.
Yeah,
Um,
right?
I don't know. It's like, oh, he said, I don't know. It's like deep issues inside of me. Bro, listen to like My Chemical Romance and like cry it out in the bathroom, okay?
Right? Go draw
Steven,
all over your jeans.
paint your nails black.
Yeah.
Steven told police he killed 6 women in total and again wouldn't tell them any details about the other 3 bodies. And to this day, Susan's body has not been found and he won't tell anyone where the body is. But they have proof that he killed her because of the video. So Stephen made his first appearance in Crown Court on May 22nd, 2010, and tabloids named him. Do you think they named him the bloodbath artist?
God, I hope not.
They named him the Crossbow Cannibal. But Stephen was like, love that for me.
I mean, it's also kind of, an interesting serial killer name.
It is.
Crossbow Cannibal.
But he liked it. He was like, that's better than bloodbath artist. When the magistrate asked for his name, Stephen responded back, the Crossbow Cannibal. And the magistrate was like, bro, no.
Why clearly you're not sorry.
Yeah, right? After his trial date was set for later that year on December 21st, 2010, Stephen dressed in a gray tracksuit. He is surrounded by a bunch of police officers. He enters the Leeds Crown Court. During the proceedings, the court showed the CCTV footage and his phone footage, and the defense was basically saying like there's no doubt that he did this, like obviously it's filmed. But it's the system's fault because he was diagnosed as psychopathic nearly like 20 years earlier and
And
maybe some.
schizophrenic.
Yes. And I might have meant to type schizophrenic, but I typed psychopathic. He was diagnosed with it nearly 20 years earlier, and maybe someone should have done something about it. No shit.
Yeah. The system failed.
Yes. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As for where he is today, he is still in prison. He tried to kill himself 6 times, and after his last attempt, he decided to go on a 120-day hunger strike. And the prison staff were like, yeah, we just know that he's just doing it, for attention and basically like being a drama queen. So they're like, okay, go ahead, starve yourself. Like, we don't care. And in 2019, Stephen was attacked by another inmate with a sharp piece of wood, and he was rushed to the hospital and survived. So that's Stephen Griffiths.
Wow. That was intense. That was a
Yeah.
good one.
Thank you. I was really excited. I never heard of him, and then when I learned about him, I was like, "Oh yeah, I like
That was a
this
good story.
guy."
That's a crazy story.
Thank you.
I feel like he, like you said, maybe he wanted to get caught. He was really it seemed like he was really smart. Like, you just
Yeah.
wasted everything.
I feel like that's like
Like,
it sucks when some really smart people actually end up being like bad because
yeah. Like,
you
wasn't
could
Ted
have.
Bundy really smart? He was really, like,
I don't
he was
remember.
he was, like, because he was his own lawyer, he, like, represented himself.
Yeah, he was. I feel like a lot of murderers are really smart.
That's scary.
It is scary
This is
because
why I
like
don't like
instead
smart
of
people.
this is why I hate smart people. You know what they say is that you should always surround yourself with people that are smarter than you instead of dumber than you because it makes you smarter. This is why I don't have children. Just kidding. I have a child. Anyways, so okay, please tell me
Alrighty.
yours. I'm so excited to hear it.
All right. We are going to Nashville this weekend. We'll be here. We're there right now.
Oh, Breeze in Nashville.
Yeah. So the gymnastics meet is at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel Resort, whatever.
Oh, I wanted to look
And
this up.
yeah, it is huge. I'm not staying there, but a lot of the other parents are because it'd be expensive, and I'm not paying like $250 a night to stay there. So I was like, I'm feeling a little salty about this. So I'm going to see if it's haunted. And sure enough, it is a bit haunted.
Wait, are you going to talk about what this place looks like?
It's
Yeah, this
basically
is
like the outside came inside.
this is
It
insane.
So I am gonna talk a little bit, about it. Look it up. It is really cool. It is like it's like a habitat inside. So
It's like
I
the bird
and
habitat
I'm pretty
on
sure it's like an
Jurassic
amusement
World.
park and stuff like that too. So there's a lot of stuff inside. It's huge apparently, and they like all the coaches were telling us, oh, if you stay there, everything you need is there. Like there's shopping, there's food, there's like
A huge water
entertainment,
park.
there's amphitheater, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. I'm gonna go over a little
Wowza.
bit of it.
Okay.
So, the Gaylord Opryland Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee was built in 1977. It stands on the very land owned by one of the most prominent families in Nashville, the McGavics.
Okay.
It was designed to complement the Grand Old Opry, which I have talked about before, that is also
Yes.
haunted.
Yes.
The hotel has grown to be one of the largest in the world with nearly
What?
3,000 rooms and large indoor gardens. It had in the 1990s, the hotel added the Delta Atrium, which features a quarter-mile indoor river,
What?
a 3.5-story waterfall, and more than 8,000 tropical plants.
Holy cow.
Interesting fact. I
Okay.
thought this is really cool. When the river was christened, the water sample, the water that's in it, were
Yeah.
taken from more than 1,700 rivers throughout the world, including every single river in the United States, were poured into that. So they took
What?
samples from every single river in the whole world, including all the ones in the United States, and poured them into that.
That's so
Isn't that neat?
cute.
I thought
Yeah.
that's so neat. It's like a little bit of like history like poured into there.
Do you think that they use like is how much do you think like a cup,
Probably like a vial.
a
I'd imagine
vial?
it's like a vial. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's if they say sample, like they have to mail it and stuff like that. So probably like a vial.
Yeah.
That's where my brain goes.
That's appropriate because like that's a lot of water. It adds
Yeah.
up.
I mean, obviously they used a hose to fill the rest. So
A hose.
just grab a hose from outside.
That's pretty cool.
In 2010, a flood in Tennessee where the water rose as high as 10 feet caused some significant damage, but the hotel reopened later that year after some extensive repairs. So I guess there's also a place in there like that marks like how high the water got too.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, I actually found that out from one of the coaches today.
Oh.
In 2012, the Gaylord Entertainment was sold to Marriott for a whopping 210 million, which
Oh
doesn't
god.
seem like a lot of money to me.
Mhm.
I don't for as big as a whole
22,000,000?
210 million. I guess that is a
210.
lot of money, but I don't know. I just feel like with all that's like featured inside this hotel, I feel like they could have got more money for it.
That's $250 million.
That's true.
I mean,
You're
that's still
right.
a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. All right. All right. I guess I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Like many hotels, I would imagine they have seen their fair share of deaths or tragedies. I couldn't get too many details on crazy things that have happened there, but
Uh-huh.
old people die in their sleep, people commit
Yeah.
suicide, and maybe the hotels wouldn't report it. I don't know. Accidents happen,
Yeah.
people drown, stuff like
Yeah.
that has probably happened on the premises. So,
Sure. Heart
um,
attacks.
the things that I could find that were reported included a Misty Perkins Normans who was strangled and thrown off her balcony at the hotel in 2001. However, karma is a bitch because her husband who was strangling her and throwing her off the balcony, also fell while throwing her off. So,
Oops. That's
sucks for
embarrassing.
you. In 2004, just outside of the resort, a man, William Young, died in a car bombing, and investigations concluded that it was not an act of terrorism. He was likely committing suicide or murdered.
Oh,
I don't know how being murdered, like, how is that not still an act of terrorism? Well, I guess it's not like trying to destroy other people. It's just trying to destroy like one person.
that
That
one
would be
person,
murder.
yeah.
Okay. So that's all I got on like things that are terrible that have happened there. I mean, I'm sure hotels aren't like, putting this stuff out there and like,
Willingly
hey, let's put
sharing.
this in the newspaper.
They're trying to
Let's get on the front page.
Nobody wants to stay at a place that people have been murdered at.
Yeah, murder. So let's get into the paranormal.
Okay.
For the most part of the paranormal, you're going to hear me talk about one particular person because it's pretty much haunted by one particular person, and that is it's a lady in black. A lot of the encounters with this lady in black have driven employees to quit and guests never
No.
to return. A lot of the activity happens apparently in the Magnolia area. So,
Hold on, Brie. How often do you think people actually return back to a hotel?
I know that's what I thought too. I was like, but they're visiting, so like,
I mean, that place definitely looks like it's a vacation on its own, which
yeah,
kind of sucks because you're also like trying to enjoy the outside amenities, but I don't I don't really go back to a
yeah.
hotel. I don't know. I'm also poor, so who knows?
I'm a regular here, every Saturday, you know what room I'll be in.
Every
I'm
400.
never coming back again, the lady in black. All right. So, who is this lady in black and what is she doing? The lady in black is believed to be the former resident slash owner of the land, Mrs.
Oh.
Mary Louise Branford McGavick.
Okay.
Long name.
Very long name.
She's haunting because she's pissed that her name is so long.
She hated filling out those star bubbles or
She
those
did.
bubbles for star testing.
Oh my god, and to spell that when you're a child.
Oh my.
Awful. When she appears, she is wearing a full black antebellum style gown. She's been seen throughout the hotel, including rooms, halls, at the top of different stairwells. She's apparently a hell of a people watcher. Like, that is what I would love to do in the afterlife. It's just like
Mhm.
people
I
watch.
would love that.
Just go people watch, judge
Mhm.
people, like, I don't know, just do some weird stuff.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Mhm.
I don't know if this is true, but multiple sources online said that she was killed by there's a big chandelier there, by the chandelier, and it fell on her. So
Ow.
I don't know if that's true,
Okay.
but several different places said that.
Okay.
I kind of find it hard to believe, to be honest,
Ah.
but we're
You
gonna
know.
say so.
Okay. We'll say it for
So
this story.
for the story.
Yeah.
One man who worked at the Opryland back in the day said he managed the store that he managed a store that remained opened until midnight. Normally, he left around 2 a.m. after stocking and finishing up paperwork for the night. One night, he looked up as he was walking out and saw the blurred image of a woman at the top of the staircase. The woman was dressed in what he described as what was customary during the Civil War era.
Okay. Mhm.
Aware this was an apparition, yet wanting to remain calm, he said, "Good evening, ma'am," and she disappeared.
Oh.
He has wondered what happened that night and why she showed herself to him ever since.
Yeah.
Another former employee hired in 1995 recounts how during orientation he was told about the lady in black. Like, they legit like brought this up during like orientation. They're like, "By the way, there's a ghost around here. We call her the lady in black. Don't be worried. It's totally normal.
She's just part of us.
You're not seeing
She's
things."
on the payroll. We can't get her
They're
off.
they're like, "You're not seeing things," but really it's like a really bad black mold problem and it's like giving them hallucinations and shit. Amy can relate.
Yes. I'm struggling with that myself right now.
Also, we have free Advil for everybody.
It's just in bowls, candy
Yeah.
bowls.
Just chew it. So he was told about this lady in black during orientation and how she sometimes changed into a red getup. He said
Oh.
that one night he entered the elevator and found a group of people inside visibly freaking out over something they'd just seen. Eventually, the group told the employee that they went into the elevator. There was a woman inside. They nervously added that as soon as the elevator door shut, she disappeared. The employee jokingly asked, "Was she wearing red?" And they all replied, "Yes."
Oh.
One woman who stayed at the hotel when she was 9 years old recalls waking up at precisely 3 a.m. every night. She swore that upon opening her eyes, she saw the lady in black standing over her,
Ew.
watching her sleep. She described being scared, however, she didn't feel threatened. Others claimed to have experienced something similar, waking up in the middle of the night, and they remember being startled awake after hearing a woman whisper in their ears.
Okay, she took people watching way too far.
Right? Like, go sleep or something. Just quit your day job for a
Yeah.
minute,
Yeah.
please. Let us sleep. Other people's paranormal accounts include hearing someone running on the roof, especially when guests
Oh.
are staying on the top floor. One guest apparently was chased out of their hotel room
Oh my.
and never came back.
Oh no.
I guess it's that one person.
Do you think he got a refund? Mm,
No. No.
no.
I hope that they include that in the pamphlet. Since they're telling employees about it in orientation, they should probably, give guests a pamphlet with, like, the lady in black information on it.
You may or may
And
not
then,
be
like
chased out of your bedroom. We will not be compensating you for that.
in, like, the tiniest little letters
The
underneath, "You will
tiniest
not be,"
little.
and in the same color font as, like, the background, like, "You will
Yes.
not be compensated for this."
One shade off.
Um People have reported the bathroom faucets randomly turning on even after just being turned off. Items have been known to move around or go missing, and guests have complained of moaning sounds. Guests have
I don't like
also
that.
reported feeling eerie vibes and also an unbearable weight on top of them and something breathing down their neck while they sleep. One
Ew.
woman in particular was so shaken by this, she decided to wake her husband. He, of course, dismissed the situation and blamed the spicy food they had
Oh
eaten
god.
that evening.
What a
It's
typical
just
husband.
it's just your indigestion. On a playful note, they call the ghosts that call Opryland Resort home are often to blame for anything that goes wrong during daily operations. So if your beer is warm, it's likely because Mrs. McGavick unplugged the cooler.
No. No. No.
Don't even.
We
Don't.
can't be blaming the ghosts for
Not cool.
everything.
No. I have some scary reviews. I think I got these from
Yep, I'm scared.
yeah, they're kind of like Yelp I'm scared reviews, but none of them were from Yelp or actual reviews. So
Brie,
they were
I still think that you should.
Yelp I'm scared reviews. There
Okay.
we go. Okay. All right, this first one is from I'm just going to say G.
Okay.
I just stayed the night at this resort with some of my friends. I had heard it was haunted, but I didn't believe it until this morning. Last night, I remember waking up and rolling over to see someone dressed in black going to hide behind the window curtain.
Oh,
I
that's cute.
thought this was one of my friends and looked down at the curtain's edge to find their feet, only to realize there were no feet.
Yeah.
I told my friends this when I woke up, and only to have one of my friends say that they saw someone standing by where I was sleeping during a TV blackout as we left it on at night.
Nope.
Once light returned to the TV, he said the figure was gone. Another one of my friends happens to point out a long and strange looking hand print out on the mirror. None of us touched this mirror, so yes, I believe this hotel is haunted.
I love that.
This next one is from a J, and it says, "My daughter and her best friend and my older son explored the lobby late, and her friend said this hotel is nice. A whisper answered, 'Yes, it is.'
Oh,
Very clearly. They caught it on video. She
oh,
wouldn't have heard it in person, but she said that she felt strange, like something was watching them. Definitely haunted."
I love that she like played into it. She's like, "You're right. It
Yes.
is. Yes, it is haunted."
I'm so proud of it.
Thank you. Someone finally says it.
This next one is from an S, and it says, "I'm currently at the Opryland Hotel. I intentionally did not look online to see if it was haunted before I went to bed, though I sensed
Smart.
there was a female spirit here. Well, at 3 a.m., a woman woke me up by saying, 'Miss,' in my ear. It's haunted.
That's it? Just Miss?
Miss. Yep.
I would have I if I were her, I'd be like, "Miss, you left the bathroom light on.
Wait, what?
Miss, don't eat anything from the mini bar." Just something like that.
Don't forget your little soaps. They're complimentary from the hotel.
Miss, drink your water. Just something so mundane like that. Like, what? You like wake up and you're like, "I'm so thirsty."
What's going on? All right. This next one is, I think this is the last one. It's from a B, and it says, "Creepy moaning, humming, and chanting throughout the halls for nearly an hour.
Jeez.
Fire
It's
alarm
just
went off."
no, it's just a cheerleader team down the road
They
that's
do
in
have a
town.
convention center, and apparently a lot of competitions happen there, so very possible, but for an
Very
hour?
possible.
And it says the fire alarm went off 3 loud rings at 4 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Not on a Tuesday.
Oh, I lied, I have one more.
Okay.
Uh, another S. It said, "Stayed at this hotel. First night, the TV just turned on by itself. Remote was on top of the side table."
Oh, no. I hate that.
All right. So, as of today, the resort is absolutely up and running and is one of the largest hotels in the world. I did the story specifically, like I said, because Charlotte's going to be competing there today.
That's so cool.
So,
I
hopefully,
hope you hear the lady in black while you're there.
I hope I hear Lady in Black. Hopefully, she gives Charlotte some good luck and the whole team some good luck.
I hope
And
I hope she whispers, "Good luck, Charlotte.
good luck, Charlotte. Go, baby shark.
Go, baby shark."
Also, side note, if you should plan to stay there, I've heard that several reviews talked about how the stairs were very dangerous. It's so
Interesting.
I looked up the stairs and
Uh-huh.
they have like a very pattern on that, like they're carpeted. The pattern on them is like super deceiving. So it's
Oh.
hard to tell where the next step is.
Oh, no.
So beware of the
I'm
stairs
gonna look them
at the
up.
hotel. Yeah, you should look them up. They're like it's like every stair is connected and it almost looks a little flat, but look down when you're walking, people. Look down. Actually, just don't look down. Just like feel the stairs with your
Just
feet.
feel them.
And that is the Gaylord Opryland Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, I loved that one. Thank you. Oh, I am looking at these stairs.
You
Yes.
found them? The
They're
blue one?
blue.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's because of the pattern.
Yeah, it's totally the pattern. Like, everybody was like, "Yeah, that pattern is super deceiving," in all of the reviews
You gotta, like, do a couple steps to make sure, like,
of all
before
the
you step
things
down.
to stress about in this hotel. Like, that's probably also in that little tiny fine print as well.
Probably. We're not
You
responsible if you don't
you
know how to go
cannot sue
downstairs.
us. You c
Also, if you wanna stay there right now, as of today, it is $413 a night.
Yeah, it's
That's
expensive.
stupid.
Yeah, it was whenever I was looking, like, 2 months ago, I think it was, like, 250 for this weekend. a
Jeez
night,
Louise.
which, I mean, that's still a lot.
That's a lot of money for one
Like, we're
night.
getting our points for staying at, like, Wyndham hotels, so
Yeah.
we're almost, like, up to a free room.
Let me tell you this, Brie. Would you pay $100 for a used mattress?
It depends on what kind of mattress it was.
On on Marketplace. $100.
And and if it depends on what kind of mattress it was and, like, like, how long it's been used for.
Okay. It's been used for 3 years.
No.
Would you pay $100 to stay in a mattress in a bed where hundreds of people have slept in prior to you? Even probably the night before. Exactly. I know. Hotels suck. A comedian said that one time, and I was like, oh, that's such a
Yeah.
good
Huh.
point. I
Yeah.
hate that.
Yeah. I love how deep I, like, think of into your questions. Like, I'm like, "How long's the mattress been used?"
Yeah.
Like, just
Take it
answer
at
the damn
surface level.
question,
Yeah,
Brie.
take it at surface level. Okay, we've been recording for way too long. You guys have no idea how many breaks we had to take for other personal things. So,
Yeah.
I have a neighborhood story for you, or yeah, a neighborhood. It's actually a picture of a note that someone wrote somebody, and it looks like maybe like a 7 or 8 year old wrote it. It says ticket. Parking on wrong side of road. Line. Parking in the middle of the road, which I think they meant road. Line. $100.
What? Somebody's very
And
mad about parking
and
situations.
this was on Facebook, and like mind you, like I said, like a 7 or 8 year old wrote it, and the caption said, "My neighbor, who is a cop, has a kid that cosplays as one. I parked in front of my house to get something, and when I came back out, I see this on my car."
That's adorable.
I know.
That is adorable. Oh my god, that's so cute. That's so cute.
Anyways, we love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Go Edgewater Gymnastics. Kick butt,
Go
girls.
Edgewater. Go Charlotte. You're gonna do great. You
Yay.
already did. You won. You got all the medals because you're amazing.
That's right.
Yeah. Have you checked out on the neighbors?
What's with the neighbors?
Bree and
Bree and
Amy.
Amy.
Out.
Ouch.
Oh,
Did we just do that at the same time this time? That actually worked.
I think we did. We might have, yeah. Um we scared Leon though, so we have that going for ourselves. Say hi to your cats for us.
Don't get dead.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.